Hello everybody, welcome to Streetlight Babble, where we'll be reviewing...
Captain Underpants, the first epic movie, and this is a spoiler review, ladies and gentlemen. So, as Chris always says, with the erection of the spoiler switchblade, this is gonna have some spoilers in it. So if you have not watched Captain Underpants, the first epic movie, and don't want to be spoiled, please turn away at this time.
Is it called the first movie?
The first epic movie.
Oh, is there gonna be more?
I'm assuming there will be.
Whatever.
I would be okay if there was.
So... This is a spoiler review. So if you want to get fucking spoiled, go and watch the movie.
What? Alright, so one of the things we wanted to talk about in our non-spoiler review, but figured it probably was a little bit spoiler heavy, is the actual plot of Professor P. Poopy Pants and his quest to take away all laughter so that no one will laugh at his silly last name. And what happens is basically George and Harold create a comic in which he takes over the world using Melvin, who has no ability to laugh, and basically creates a world where people don't laugh, and which basically light bulb goes off in Professor P. Poopy Pants' brain, and it says, "Huh, that's actually a good idea. I might just use this Melvin kid and give him extra credit." And so he does.
I mean... Extra credit. I mean, come on. What's this Melvin's... He's gonna have a good life. He's gonna have a lot of extra credit. Why are you dinging? Anyway... So the plot, I did like the touch of how the plot was, the villain's ultimate goal was created by the children themselves via a comic. I did like that rather a lot. I'm guessing that's more harkening back to the books. Of
the kids kind of create their own problems.
Just creating their own problems and their own solutions. So just like everyone else in life. The principal, there were some parts of the principal's plot that I wanted to talk about in our non-spoiler review, but I'll saved it for here. The principal's life, once they get to his house, turns out to actually be really sad. I mean, he seems like kind of evil in real life. He seems to like to hurt people, but then he's just... When you go to his house, it's the ultimate single man's house.
It is like the stereotypical 40-year-old bachelor's house.
Yeah, it's just empty, like dank, depressing, lonely. One light bulb lit, one
chair, one plate with one fork next to it.
With one fork. Oh, yeah, like one utensil in every in the drawer.
He has two towels that say his and also his.
His and also his. Just... And I really like how that gave the principal some depth, because too many of these animated movies right now are just going on the whole, the villains don't have any reasons for being villains. They're just bad guys. They're not relatable. And one of the biggest and most important part of a good villain is to have them be relatable. You know, sort of this could be you someday. So don't be this, really. And I really liked how they put some backstory into the principal and made him kind of a likable character for as stereotypically evil as he was in the very beginning of the film.
He kind of mellows out towards the end.
He mellows out towards the end, and you really learn a lot about his life and how kind of sad it is, and you really feel sorry for him. You know, it's the classic. The bullies because he's being beat up by his dad at home.
Like I said, the whole point of Captain Underpants is to tug at those heartstrings. It's all silly and fun, but at the same time, it's dealing with real emotions.
And the dad beats him up at home because he gets yelled at his boss, who gets yelled at by his overbearing wife, who gets yelled at by her boss, who gets yelled at by his boss. This is just a cycle of violence. Make it stop.
It's trickle-down violence.
Trickle-down violence, dude.
Trademark pending.
Trademark pending. But, and, at the end, the kids do a little prank for good. They set the principal up with a date. And I really like it. Real heartfelt moment, surprisingly, from Captain Underpants for me, who's just new to these theories,
to this universe. One thing we also kind of wanted to touch on were some of the reoccurring jokes that popped up. Like there's a scene where to sneak past the principal's secretary, they prank call her and are like, okay, we're gonna have you if you stay on hold, you're going to get $1 billion. And over the course of the movie, she's still on hold. There's even a point at the end of the movie where the villain lifts up the school's roof and is trying to find George and Harold, and she's still on hold. And he's like, "Are you still on hold?" Uh-huh. Oh, I hate it when that happens. And he just puts the roof back down.
Yeah, it's the recurring jokes. It's all pretty good. I think it's a pretty good movie.
Yeah. Overall, I'd say for adults, it's still a 6 or 7 out of 10. I say 7. You're kind of flipping back and forth between the two. And for kids, it's definitely going to be a fun time.
I'm a man always on the fence.
That's true. When we're not recording, he's literally sitting on a fence at all times.
Yeah. Never make any decisions. I'm just stagnant in life, like the principal.
His buttocks have a lot of splinters.
I'm sad because I'm sad. That's why. Because this cycle of violence we create for ourselves, that of all movies, Captain Underpants has elucidated for us. This cycle of violence that we create for each other by treating each other like shit.
This movie has gotten you more introspective than Power Rangers ever could.
Just take some time. Be a little bit nice. Maybe the cycle of violence will end. But no, you're not gonna do that. You're gonna be one of those people who talks in the theaters, pees in the pool. You're just gonna be one of those people who
throws gummies at you from the back of the theater.
That was what happening to us in The Mummy.
I know, but still.
You're just gonna be one of those people who's just gonna slightly ruin everybody's day and get them angry, so they're gonna slightly ruin everybody else's day. Maybe if you stopped, everybody else would too. I hate you. Anyway, so that was
we call that rant, Dad.
We call that rant, Father.
All right, well, stay tuned. We're going to have some more reviews coming out. Probably won't go see Cars, but we are going to be doing a real quick power trip through the Transformers movies before Transformers 5, The Last Night. And Chris has not seen...
I haven't seen anything but the first one. So one of the reasons I haven't been watching them is because Michael Bay at one point said, "Oh, I don't need to make them any different or special or anything because you're just going to see them. Still going to see them." So I've been wanting to block them out, which is why this is going to be harder for me than Fast and Furious because I just hate Michael Bay as a human being.
You mean to tell me it's my turn to torture you with
I don't know.
Transformers?
I think Transformers is worse than Fast and Furious. At least Fast and Furious has fucking yoked ass Vin Diesel and hot women shaking their booties at me.
But Transformers has weird Shia LaBeouf. Alright, so stay tuned. We got some reviews coming out soon, and we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Adios.